All right, good morning, traders. Today is January 19th, 2024. My name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB trading room. All right, so my SPY pivot this morning, 474.98, basically 475. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. All of the Fab 5 produced daily candles that made higher highs and higher lows than the previous day. Diamond Dow and Russell 2000 IWM closed the day inside the bearish 3/8 trap. I think they're both, Diamond Dow's not quite in a downtrend, but IWM is. SPY, QQQ, and FNGU closed over the bullish 3/8 trap and over the 17 EMA trend indicator. Gold remains bullish, but has closed the day inside a bearish 3/8 trap underneath the 17 EMA trend indicator. Silver still remains bearish in a downtrend, closing another day below the bearish 3/8 trap and below the 17 EMA trend indicator. And all of that is below a daily downtrend line. USO is breaking out of the downtrend, closing a daily candle above the bullish 3/8 trap and above the 17 EMA trend indicator and above the downtrend line. Yeah, actually, yesterday's candle could be classified as the rubber band candle. So we'll see what happens today. I think USO either breaks out either today or next week sometime. We'll see what happens. We'll see if the rubber band energy pulls it back down under the downtrend line. UNG trades a third day back at the midpoint of the daily uptrend, down to the 540 level. Nice pullback there. US dollar index maintains its daily downtrend after spiking the flat 200 SMA for the third day in a row. So we'll take a look at that as well. All right, let's go take a look at some charts. And let's blow this up. And let's pull up SPY. So here we are with SPY. You can see daily candle, higher low, higher high. Nice inside day. Gapping up this morning up to these highs up here. 478.72. Those are prior highs. So you can see we're up there, challenging that area. I think there's a good possibility we take out the highs today, the all-time high. I really do. I think if we could put in another $4 candle, depending on where we start from, we could possibly spike the highs sometime today. We'll see what happens. In the 10-minute, okay, this is what we have on the 10-minute. You can see right here, 474.98 was a popular number yesterday. As you can see, we hit it twice, and then we faded back to the lows, and we got right into about yesterday's close. Didn't quite fill the gap, which says to the market that we're bullish. Remember when we failed to fill the gap this day? Well, then we rolled over and challenged the lows and made lower lows. Well, the same thing happened today or yesterday. All right. So what we had was audio. Cosborn, are you sure? Yep, audio's good. All right. So what we had yesterday, all right, failed to fill the gap. The market's weak. Sell it. Okay. So what we had today failed to fill the gap up. The market's strong. Buy it. See what I'm saying? So you got here yesterday. Market fails to fill the gap down. Market's weak. Sell it. Market fails to fill the gap up, coming back down. The market's strong. Buy it. Right there. So you can see us rocking right through the anchored VWAPs right there. So that's a nice move on SPY. So what did we have yesterday? We actually had an MMRP. So if you stack all these candles together, you get one big igniting move. And this one big igniting move broke through resistance. See how resistance held it down twice earlier yesterday? Okay, so we break through the resistance in this huge igniting move. Because if you stack the bodies of those green candles all together, you get one big green candle. That's a 10-minute chart. And then after that, you can see we got the pause candle, the pullback, and the check of support right there. See that? Red candle spikes down, checks the support. And then from there, we got 10-minute price advancement candles, each one generally making a higher low and a higher high than the previous one. Okay, so you see 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 7. So we had 7 candles, and we wound up closing the day at the high of the day. I kept a lot of my calls because we closed the day near the high of day, and we closed over support right there. So we checked support, and then it takes off. Let me show you another one, and we'll go back to NVIDIA. All right, so here's NVIDIA on a 4-hour chart. Is that right? NVIDIA, NVDA. This was our trade, and we were talking about this on the 16th. I said, here's igniting candle. There's your pause. I said, watch for support right here. Watch for it to test this support tomorrow. And sure enough, you can see the price action slam down into it and then took off. And you can see NVIDIA actually trading up around 581.20 today. This is actually kind of a birthday trade. If you look at it, let me examine it a little bit closer here. If we take the boxes and we take the high and we box it in down to the base, right about there, and then we duplicate the box, stack it up on top, and you get 586.03 right there. And where are we today? 581.47. I think we're looking at probably a move to the north side sometime today. They're already gapping up. I think it's going to be a gap and go. I don't expect them to fill the gap, but they may want to do it. We'll see what happens. But here's the birthday trade. You know, price comes up, slams back down to the base, and like a red rubber ball, it bounces up twice as high over the student's head. And that's exactly what you're getting today. Right there is that bounce and then slam up. So on a 10-minute chart, if we look at this, you can see we were here, and then this was the pause candle, all of this. And then I said, watch for the test of support. And here you got a slam right down onto the black top, otherwise known as the base, and the market takes off. Well, NVIDIA takes off, and then bull flags, and then takes off again. Well, it gapped up, giving you a nice pop, you know, into the morning hour. You can see at the very last minute, they were snatching up some of NVIDIA, creating an uptrend. You can see the 3 crossing the 8 on that 10-minute chart at the very last minute. And if you were aggressive enough to buy some calls, you got really rewarded in the morning with the, NVIDIA popping up $15. Can you imagine if we got a $15 pop in SPY? That would be huge. Well, think about that in NVIDIA. That's huge. A $15 pop on some calls. So you can see here's NVIDIA back into its uptrend where right at the closing time again, and where's it going? It's gapping up, 581.55. My target for this is 585. I think it could go a little bit higher based on the pullback here. So, I mean, if we drag this down to right about there, that looks like about where it's at. Let's slide this over, see where it really comes out. Yeah, that leaves like about a couple pennies up here and a couple pennies down there. And then if we duplicate that, I just want to see where it winds up, because I just like to do that. And you can see that puts us right up around 588. But I got to tell you, my target's 585. That's a conservative target. We could get up 588, 590. I think it's going to 600. We'll see what happens here. But really nice pop in the morning for NVIDIA. But anyways, that was shared with traders on the 16th in the BYOB trading room. So there's NVIDIA. So now let's go back to the markets. All right, we just did SPY. Let's look at QQQ. We'll hit that on the daily chart. And you can see QQQ on the daily chart puts in a higher low and a higher high, and we're gapping up this morning. So QQQ closed over the bullish 3/8 trap. Nice work for QQQ. All-time highs. Let's see where we are. So today, QQQ is setting new all-time highs, obviously, by gapping up. You can see that was the all-time high right there. Or right here, I think we inked it out by a penny or so that day. And this was the new all-time high. Now this one became it. And you can see us trading up over that. Oh, yeah. Yesterday. So QQQ sets new all-time highs right there. Yesterday, doing it again today. Nice work, QQQ. FNGU, not quite as strong. All right. But putting in the higher low. Pressure on the bulls to create the higher high. Right there, we got FNGU, higher low, higher high, gapping up this morning. We'll see if we can get FNGU up here around its prior highs, right up around there. That would be nice for 245.16. We're at 242. No, we're at we're at 242.25 right now. So we got a little bit of work to do. The high for last year looks like it's this number right here, which is 245.16. The high for this year is 243.52. I think we're going to take out the high for this year. And I think we're going to challenge the high for last year. But the all-time high for FNGU is right up here around 498. So it'll be a while before we get up there. We'll have to watch and see what happens. All right, that's FNGU. Now let's take a look at the Russell 2000. That's IWM. Now you can see Russell 2000 came down here, bounced off some minor support in this consolidation. You got like 8 days of consolidation right through here. Price action came down there and bounced up. You got a higher low and a higher high than the previous candle. Still not able to close, not even in the bearish 3/8 trap, closing below it. We're definitely gapping up today. That's nice. So now that puts us running through the bearish 3/8 trap. Hopefully they can get up over trend indicator and close it. That would be really bullish for the markets. We could actually see SPY run off to 200 if we could get some of that price action going. We'll see what happens. But there's Russell 2000 still underneath this trend indicator, but bouncing off of minor support, which is a good thing. Okay, now that we've hit minor support, what we want to see is the bulls take over and make a higher high. Okay, first we got to get through this consolidation. You got about 5 days of consolidation right through there. All right, so you can see probably the highs today will come in about at 196 if they get really aggressive today. That will be minor resistance, 196, right through there. Okay, so there's IWM. Take a look at Diamond Dow. All right, Diamond Dow is closing inside the 3/8 trap, almost above it. A higher low and a higher high, just bull flagging over to the right. It's been there since, well, mid-December. Here's the 18th, and you can see we're kind of in the same spot. And today's the 19th of January, so for 1 month, price action has just stayed consistent, kind of waffling back and forth here in this bull flag formation. So the longer it stays there, you know what I say, it's a good chance it's going to take a trip to that side. We'll see what happens. There's Diamond Dow. Now let's go take a look at USO. And got to take that off. Here's crude oil. There's a downtrend in crude oil. All right, we closed the previous day over the downtrend line. So there's the spike. That makes yesterday's price action a rubber band candle. Excuse me. We got a higher high and a higher low. We got on the daily chart, we got a bullish 3-ace cross. And now we have a bullish 3-ace trap. We closed over the trap and over the trend indicator and over the downtrend line. If they could just hold this out here, that would be very good. Grind up, possibly hold it for 2 or 3 days and then pop up out of here, make a new high. And this would make a new triple bottom or double bottom low. We got a double bottom low here and we got a double bottom low here. So looking like a triple bottom really. So then we could take this triple bottom and move it up. Hopefully we could take out some of these highs in the near future. That's 71.34. Now if the energy sector could get going, we could see a really nice market rally because the energy sector has not really been participating in the SPY's rally so far. Just a couple of sectors that are kind of lagging. One of them being the XLF is kind of stuck on a bull flag. And USO, which has been kind of stuck in kind of a bear flag. A move down and then over to the right. But USO looks like it's putting in that rounded bottom shape right now. And, of course, Nat Gas, UNG, all right, already started in uptrends, pulling back to the midpoint. See if we can get the midpoint to hold. And maybe demand will pick up and increase UNG, bring it back up over these highs up here, or at least challenge them again at the 670 level, 680. So there's UNG in an uptrend. Hopefully we can find out where they're going to put in the next higher low. They may have to come back to minor support. Where would minor support be? Well, 510. That's a big drop. That's a big ugly drop, but that's might be what it has to do. And maybe a couple days on minor support and then bounce up. Once traders figure out it's not going to go any lower, we start our return back over the midpoint, and then we could look for a target of probably 630, right around there. If we bounce off of this midpoint right here, not the midpoint, minor support right around 510. I hope it doesn't get that ugly. We'll see what happens. There's UNGs. Take a look at silver. Here's silver still in a downtrend underneath the downtrend line. Closing underneath the 3-ace trap. Underneath trend indicator and still underneath the downtrend line. Silver in jeopardy of breaking major support right here. This is our major support for silver in this consolidation. I don't think it'll do it, but it's sure setting up, sure leaning on it. We've got a head and shoulders pattern. We've got a left shoulder, a right shoulder, and this will be the heads. We'll see what happens. There's silver. Let's take a look at. Let's go look at the technicals. All right, so here's the technicals yesterday. Not really fabulous for the day that we had. Was a pretty good day, but if you look at the technicals, and that's because, T2122 measures, all the products in the NYSE that are not, and not in a weighted form, in an unweighted form on an individual basis. So you can see price action came down to the oversold and rocketed back up to the sell chop zone. Here's the seller's chop zone. So maybe they can get up into the buyer's chop zone sometime today. And next week, maybe we can find our way back up in here into the buy zone and the overbought zone. So we'll see what happens. But we did make, look at this, a higher low. And what we got is a reward with a higher high. So like that, right? Everybody likes that. Got that higher low. Bulls rewarded us with a higher high. So hopefully, maybe we go up a little bit higher, put in another higher low, and do it again. We'll see what happens. All right, next one, T2123. You can see this measures all the stocks in the NYSE. You can see we sold off well into 12:30, 1 o'clock. There's 145. Finally, the market turns around at 145 and starts acting bullish. But notice here, unlike the T2122, we made a higher low and made a higher high for the day. T2123 did not. All right, see, we kind of started out here and we did not end up higher than our starting point. So you've got a divergence in what's going on here. So you got T2123 red until basically 2 o'clock, and then finally they turned it around green. We'll see where it winds up today. On the 3-bar chart, still a whole lot of space between trend indicator and price action. Boy, those are some big candles there. Look at that. Not very often you see big candles like that in the T2123. Usually they're little tiny things like this. So that was some wild price action there in T2123. FNGU indicator. We were up, put in a higher low, and we did not make the higher high by end of day, but let me say, they definitely made a concerted effort right there to try to set that higher high. But they got the higher low, pressure on the bulls. You can see we're gapping up this morning. 242.49, nice work. Really nice work. So I guess we're off to challenge this high right here. So with the higher low, there's a possibility we take out the high right there at 243.75. And if we take out that high, we're looking at setting new highs for this year and last year, really. So we'll see what happens. FNGU, that's the one that moves the markets. So we'll see what happens with that. If this one gets going, you don't want to short the SPY. You just want to let it run until it tells you it's done. So watch this one. This one's going to let you know what's going on with the market. I see the gap up. I want to see a gap and go. That's FNGU. Let's come back all the way over here. Let's look at SMH. SMH, higher high, higher low. Putting in new all-time highs for SMH. QQQ put in new all-time highs. SMH, new all-time highs. Work is getting done. Okay, IYT puts in a nice green candle, wiping out. Okay, wiping out almost 2 red days right there, closing over the bearish 3-ace trap. Actually, over the trend indicator as well. So IYT in a bull flag. See the move up and then staying in quadrant 4. If this could get up and break, this could break out to new highs if they get going. So there's IYT. That's our transports. Let's take a look at XLF, and then we'll call it a day. XLF also in a bull flag right there. And IYT, did I say bear flag? No, this is a bull flag. If I said bear flag, I meant bull flag. Right there, hanging out in quadrant 4. All right, let's go back to, why does that say USO down there? That's weird. Hold on. There it goes. All right, XLF. All right, bull flag. Let's just put the quad lines. I can already tell you it's in quadrant 4. Yeah, up on quadrant 4 here in a bull flag formation. The longer it stays in here, the more likely it is to shoot off and make a new higher high. If they're consolidating up here, that means they're just grinding away at overhead supply. If they're not interested in grinding away at overhead supply, what happens is they go up and they bounce back down and reload. If they're interested now and they've got enough shares and they're ready to take out overhead supply and the market internals are ready, they'll stay up there and grind on it like they want to go up higher. So I got to tell you, this looks like it wants to go higher. All right, so let's take a look at, all right, here's our US dollar index. July lows, October highs, double top here in October. Actually, October, November. We trade back down, all the way down to major support. We bounce off major support, back into our downtrend line. Bull flag into the downtrend line, break the rubber band candle, and spike the flat 200 SMA right there. So it's the third day in a row. All right, we spiked the flat 200 SMA. Note, we were unable to close any of these daily candles over the flat 200 SMA. And I'm going to tell you, I see descending wicks already. I think the market's ready to go to 500. We'll see what happens. But that looks like a descending wick pattern. We'll see where that takes us. Unable to close over the flat 200. So, of course, if it comes down, a weaker dollar is definitely going to inspire the market to go higher. I would think. We'll see what happens. All right. Max pain for today, I think it's 460. Is today the 18th? Why do they have this up there? They still have it up there. It makes me think they got something wrong. All right, max pain for today. Yesterday, I guess it was 472. Max pain for today is 460. I don't see us going to 460 today, but today is options expiration Friday. Anything could happen. I don't see that. That'd be like almost a $20 move. But strange stuff does happen on Friday. All right, so economic calendar. We've got consumer sentiment coming out at 10, existing home sales at 10, couple of Fed speakers. And they're going to talk about capitalizing the Treasury right there. So how much inventory they got? I guess Treasury International Capital. Not sure what that's about, but anyways, a couple of Fed speakers, and that's it. Really light day for today. Earnings calendar. All right, get some more financials. State Street, Fifth Third, Huntington, Regions. Ally, Comerica, got another one here, do we? Oak Valley, all right. Travelers Insurance, Schlumberger, and Indian Bank. That's what I heard. But they don't know when they're going to report, so we'll see what happens. A lot of times you see that circle with a dash. I don't know what it is, but they can't seem to find their P&L most of the time. But we got a sunshine here, so everything is going to be reported that's expected to be reported today. It's going to happen before the market opens. So some more regional banks. So speaking of regional banks, let's go check out the KRE. I'm curious what it's doing. So we've had a lot of reports. I'm seeing some green candles. There's a lot of engine revving, but I don't see anything moving up. All right? So we've had a lot of regional banks, which to me sounds like somebody putting their foot on the gas, but they're still in neutral. See that? We're not moving up. And we don't even kind of look like we're drifting backwards. Let's see where we are today. Maybe they're just getting ready, okay? Maybe they're heating up the tires. So we'll see what happens here. Did we hit minor support? Yes, we did. So this is a right into this 9-day minor support. We could see a takeoff today. If the KRE takes off, that'll be a really super fantastic. If USO takes off, that'll be even more. Tech is already on its way. We could see over the highs today if KRE participates. And it looks like it wants to. So this is really looking good for today and next week. We could see 500, before the month's end. We'll see what happens. MMRP on KRE on what time frame? On this, you got to break either support or resistance. And I don't see either one being broken yet. You need an igniting move. So it's not on the daily. Yeah, I don't see it yet, but that doesn't mean it's not there. Okay, so there's KRE. So we got to bounce off minor support right here. Bounce off minor support. So we'll see what happens. Yes, it's acting like it's acting like an MMRP, but it's taking a whole lot longer. Right, it's moving up through resistance, coming back. You see here's the resistance, obviously the breakout right there of the consolidation, coming back, checking support, and then we're looking for this to make new highs. Yes, I agree. On that aspect, yes. It's acting very much like an MMRP. All right, traders, that's it. Everybody have a big day. Again, I'm looking for 10-minute uptrends. It's going to be tough. The market's gapping up. Don't know how far it's going to pull back. I've got calls and I've got a put spread in addition to my calls. See if I can find my inventory. Not again. Okay, well, we'll find it later and we'll discuss it before the market opens. All right, let me render my video. If you got some questions, put them on and I'll do my best to take care of them.